Hello everybody, how are you on this wonderful day? The title of this video is Twin Flames, Spiritual Fruits and the Journey of Awakening. And this journey of awakening, it's an awakening process of looking into yourself, facing down the darkness and choosing love, choosing awareness, choosing awakening instead of choosing fear, choosing numbness or sleeping. The inner work is an awakening medicine. We don't need to know what the divine has in store for us. She's asking us to do this thing. Sometimes the divine may ask you to sit and do seemingly nothing when you'd rather tidy up the room. It would take very little energy to tidy up the room and you'd feel a lot better for doing it. But the divine is saying that you're not primarily here to feel better. You're here to serve the divine, who sees more than we can see. She sees the world from literally a God's eye view and really knows what would actually make us feel better. The divine sees the whole picture. Perhaps you're being guided not to tidy up, because if you did, you'd miss out on this other thing that's so much better. The divine sees what we don't. God is the primary focus of the journey. He will lead us home. Going back to sleep is harbouring darkness, it's numbing, the descent to hell. So wake up to your true reality. The ego will never ask you to do something that feels bad. Ego will encourage you to follow it. It owns the world. That's why we come to know God. It takes faith in oneself and mastery, learning God. This is his process. Only the divine knows the entire picture, so follow the divine. Ascension is the answer to your good. You conquer your own kingdom. It's a spiritual war within yourself. You'll run into temptation. You'll be probed by the enemy commander. It will strike at your weakest point, at your weakest moment. That's how the ego fights. Despite the fact that ego is not real, you can experience it as such. But even so, it doesn't matter or exist. Simply walk with the divine. You're conquering the ego, which brings so many benefits, and you'll beat the ego in you no matter what. Enjoy your victory, share your victory, and everyone benefits. Historically, peace has always been achieved through war, and that's it. One guy's right. And it doesn't give rise to eternal peace. Eternal peace comes when everyone can agree forever on something. And everyone can agree on our commonality, our spirituality, our divinity. Eternal world peace comes from the divine. It's not a spiritual mantle you put on. Truth and logic go hand in hand. We can all agree that the sky is blue. Waking and ascension, we can all agree on. Truth, awareness can be shared. If you become aware, you illuminate the world and share that illumination with the collective consciousness of the entire population. Why else are twin flames becoming part of popular culture? It's becoming mainstream because of your awareness of them. Ego will tell you you're not doing anything real, but your consciousness has a huge impact on the collective. The world goes through the same lessons together. One humanity. We all come from the kingdom of heaven. Heaven is a fundamental human agreement, a shared experience, a state of consciousness, as well as thou shalt not kill commandment. We're going to a place in consciousness of total agreement. What will the awakening look like? Ascension is coming. It's woven into the fabric of consciousness. You can integrate it. It becomes part of you. It grows and expands you. It's offered from facing down the darkness, building the fabric of your consciousness. As you agree to do more and more in the kingdom, you live more and more of your life in it. You don't have to be best friends with your neighbours, but you can help each other along. The kingdom grows in consciousness. How do you benefit? Test the waters to determine if there's divinity there. Do the litmus test for everything in your life. It's pure science. What binds us together? Spirituality. Act primarily from there. Find total agreement. Even if all you seem to get is resistance, you act totally from your divine self and the craziest shit happens. People go out of their way to mess with you. That's the way your existence pushes on people. That's why firm boundaries are essential. But do other people disagree with your spiritual self? No, they completely agree and make you... and they make sure you know about it. You make them aware of all that they have put up against God. You don't know the impact that you have just by doing the work. That's why they will disagree, because they really agree. They'll say how much they disagree because they see how loyal to fear they're being. We undermine their highest loyalty. It's no impediment to have people apparently opposing you, when in fact they can't stand how much they agree. It's not opposition, but really support. There's no opposition. As you experience this pushback, it's not because of disagreement, but fiery encouragement. Use it to invigorate you. Use competition to engage you. Use it as an opportunity to go deeper into yourself and root out the parts not feeling in order. That's what we all must do. That's the process of awakening. Go in, choose to feel your feelings, choose awakening, not numbing. Set yourself free in that place. It becomes a way of life. Walk the spiritual path. In every moment, liberate yourself. It takes so many chains for a child of the divine to live in the world. It's a process. Go in and find the places that are not awake. You may not recognize where you're not awake, but it will feel off. Let divine presence dance within you. Dance through consciousness. Let it show you where you're still asleep, where you don't feel good. The divine will take you where you need to wake up. Having success in your life is a byproduct of something deeper. Normally when you create increase, the devil takes his cut, so you lose. The way to get increase is by waking up, and then increase can flow to you. As you walk the path, you awaken and share it to benefit others. Awakening is critical. You will have challenges, and that's okay. It's part of the deal. You will come out better. What you go through and the outcome doesn't matter as much as how you go about it. You're in total control of that. You are in control of how you go about handling your challenges. That's it. Do you run and hide and blame, or do you give it your best shot with pride, patience and humility? It's character forming. Challenges are the only way to attain your true divine nature. Maintain the divine flow that you're attracting. If your vibration is based on ego, the good will be temporary, but if it's built on God, it will be eternal. God's beauty shines through you always. Ego's beauty turns hideous. All things are available through your vibration. You control your vibration, and you always attract what you require. What are you attracting now? That's the lesson that must be worked through. It's called living life. That must be faced now. Illusions. Know unequivocally how to dissolve them and guide others. It's the nature of the process. If you're feeling good, go somewhere with it, do stuff with it. Keep going. That's living your life. With each new expression of awareness, life gets better. No one could say they don't want their life to get better. You have your own way to do that. Achieve it by living a good life, by putting your principles into action. People will test you, and it's a test they failed long ago. Show them that you don't need to succumb to ego and you'll thrive. We all agree to meaning, to life itself. What we do with life is the fundamental difference. Live by example. The world will fight you, but can't stop you. And you'll grow, and nothing can prevent your way of life, because it's the truth. The divine is on the throne, not ego. The divine pulls the strings, is the monarch, calls the shots, directs resources, and says how it goes. So live this way as an example. It's unbelievably powerful, attractive and magnetic. Start to live this way with more confidence, and your good will increase. And what kind of motherfucking good is your ultimate lover? No global corporation can pay for it. No president can make it happen. God does. God will. God has. The power that walks with you, endorses you, stands with you. God's power stand with him now and always. It's not about changing anybody's mind directly. Just be Christ-like. Be one with the divine. Stand with the divine. Align to God's power completely. Never egos. Never again share the beliefs of the kingdom of hell. Lose the fear, the suffering, the numbing, the hate, revenge, control. Let all that go. The divine is better. Nothing can stop the divine. Will you walk in divinity without fear? Stand with God in the deepest recesses of your mind and heart. Surrender and humble yourself and let it all go, and the divine will show you the way through it. She will never abandon you. She will fulfill and satisfy you. She loves you. Walk with the one who loves you, cares about you, protects you, sees every spiritual step you take as perfect. You take the steps with your choices. Act. Don't respond to ego's ways, but God's. Act as God would have you act. Only spiritual fruits are satisfying. What more do we want than heaven on earth? Spiritual fruits. All your gifts in your reality are. The divine directs your spiritual fruits. So be a gardener. Learn how to bear fruit. Start small. Then add to it to have the garden. You will prosper. Those who listen to the divine the most have the best gardens. Nurture the divine's gifts, the divine seeds. The divine manages them for you. Become a farmer. God's fields are not wheat when people are starving for apples. God's garden is rich in variety. Don't deny him his variety. If you can't grow fruit yet, then focus on the spuds. And if you're complaining that your potatoes ain't growing, well, are you going to feel your feelings about it? Feel your feelings instead of burning it with fear, anxiety and anger. Spiritual fruit grows differently to ego fruit. It's a different food. It's spiritual nourishment. The world will tell you how to grow wheat, but dream big. This is something beyond the world's limited vision of how wealth can be created. You deserve money plus real wealth, which is fundamentally spiritual in nature. You grow spiritually and miracles happen. You direct the miracle. God will teach you how to grow your garden. Listen to him. Let him show you, or it won't grow in prosperity. The kingdom wants to see the riches of your fields. You only ever have to depend on God for your spiritual riches. God will teach you how to increase. Where in your reality are you not honouring the increase? Where are you resisting? Honour where you're at, nurture it, and it will bear fruit, and it gets better. Spiritual fruit only grows by spiritual means. Earn through the spiritual path. You don't need the world after all, you just need the divine. Follow the divine, claim your abundance. It's not limited at all. Cultivate your garden with your twin flame together now. Whatever you grow for your twin flame. You grow it together. Separation is the illusion that what you grow or what they grow isn't for you, and what you grow is for them. The garden will be full of unimaginably wonderful things in your life. Trust the divine. Let God pick your fruits for you. Let it be weird. You may find it stinky even, but God says you'll love it. And then you realise you like it, and it turns into something that shapes you in your spiritual life. It's not your domain what happens. Your domain with God is how you handle stuff, how to conduct yourself, when to say yes or no. God knows how to grow fruits in your life. Do you appreciate the fruits in your life, or do you stress? Pumpkins not growing right? Do you spread stress and separation, or peace and love around your garden, your union? All you need is love. If you're living a life in a state of loving always, don't judge what it looks like. You've won. You're a master. If you choose to love God at every juncture, you're a master. You can't avoid loving 100% of the time. Your refusal to fail to love the divine is the highest gift, and your life will be filled with fruit, air, life force and illumination. Love the divine and you'll bear fruit. What kind of fruits do you see being born right now? Stay in appreciation. You've won. Don't measure your success by the number of fruits, but whether you're willing to love and appreciate right now. Gratitude for divine gifts is your natural state, internalized. It's safe to walk your journey. Don't compare your garden to others. Look at your own garden. Is it growing? Do you like it? Is it tended to? You have to weed it. If all you must do for expanded joy is to grow your garden with the divine, and the only threat is the world's thought system because of its weeds, anger makes the weeds grow fast. We can all agree on spiritual fruits. That's the joke of separation. We can all agree spiritual fruits are good. Some agree too much. Let yourself grow it. Let it grow and expand you. Spiritual fruits until the whole earth is covered in these gardens. Everyone will enjoy the fruits of the divine. Most who have already ascended took their gifts to heaven with them, because that was the only place where they could be grown. Ignore the voice and thought system that tells you otherwise. You have no opposition. Just you, the divine, and your garden. Keep going. You'll reap what you sow in due time. Marvellous. Ooh. And for that, finish with a bit of a bang. Yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, my friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.